Okay, this is my Audi S3. It's an 8P facelift 2010, and we're just getting started on this. One of the first things, of course, I want to do is get a cold air intake, and this one is from ProRam, I guess, slash RamAir, ProRam. I don't know which is what. We're gonna get that installed. This is not an unboxing, it's unboxed. It's, however, not yet installed. So we're gonna talk about this. If we start with what should happen, right, is the OEM intake needs to come off, as well as the OEM engine cover, because on the S3, or the transverse engine, the intake is integrated into the engine cover. That's pretty straightforward. What might happen is, in my case, I had some problems removing these support brackets for the engine cover. Hopefully you won't have an issue, but I had to crush them and drill right through them to remove them. They were corroded and whatnot. Anyways, onto this this product, and I'm almost already laughing. Let's get to that. I've partially assembled it. We're just getting started here. This is a heat shield. It goes on top of the OEM turbo heat shield. It's gonna sit somewhere there. Hardware is included, not the best looking hardware, but it's kind of nice, powder coated. If we go back here in the box, you'll eventually assemble a box right in this area as well, to kind of isolate the filter a little bit. That's all good. And now I have the MAF sensor already installed, and then the pipe or the tube from the diverter valve is going to go in here. And it's going to sit what? It's actually going to sit like this at the turbo, right? And then, and this dimension is I guess is an OEM dimension, or close to OEM. But then what happens with this guy is it immediately steps up, and it gets kind of large until it gets kind of humongous. And let's find the filter. All right, look at this motherfucker. Excuse my French. The filter is the biggest freaking filter I've ever seen, right? I really hope these guys at ProRam or RamAir, whatever, both of them, I hope they did their math. Because we're going from this to that, right? That's pretty crazy. I don't know what that will do to air velocity, but hopefully they did their math, and hopefully that works out. We're gonna find out. If nothing else, it's gonna probably sound pretty loud, right? And at least that's part of the equation that we're looking at. Now, what I wanted to get at is that they include hardware, which includes also these hose clamps, right? And the quality of these things is not the best. Pretty flimsy. I guess 10 millimeter width, very thin. That might cut up your hose a little bit. So what I did was I got onto that's upside down, Do88 or Do88 or whatever, Swedish company, but they source, I guess, British stainless steel Mikalor clamps. So we have the same dimension clamps. We need I think this is 80 to 100, and then there are a bunch of 60 to 80. We're going to replace with slightly nicer Mikalor clamps, however you faggots want to pronounce that. That's the 60 to 80. And then while I'm at it, I'm also replacing some coolant and I guess fuel and coolant clamps. I think that's about it. But for this install, we'll do that stuff later. For this install, we're gonna take the Mikalor clamps or Mikalor clamps, however you pronounce that, and we're gonna toss the or save for later. Okay, we're back. The installation is more or less complete. It takes about an hour if things go well. And I gotta say, first things first, it looks pretty cool. It's like we noted earlier, it's a huge ass filter, and it reduces in that area, reduces down to OEM diameter. Installation pretty straightforward. There's a lot of hoses, there's a lot of couplers, there's a lot of adjustment to be done. I'd say the hardest part is probably around this area, particularly these rubber linings here. They fall off a lot, and they fall off here, over there, and here in particular, especially when you're trying to insert this elbow or adjust the filter location. Speaking of which, right here is a coolant hose, and coolant isn't particularly cold, right? But also the main air intake is right here. So we're kind of missing the filter. I don't know, but maybe on the A3 or S3 there's a air duct somewhere around here. On my A4 I have an air duct here somewhere. So we're gonna find out. Other than that, supplied hardware. The instructions are not particularly clear, but they do say there's supposed to be a longer M6 bolt to hold this P-clamp in position to secure the pipe. It is pretty secure actually, but to secure further, there's supposed to be a longer bolt here. That bolt was not supplied, so I'll have to go out and buy one. On the other hand, they supply these things, which are spares. Can't really use them, and they supply this Allen key, which is actually too large for these bolts. So I don't know, I would have appreciated getting the M6, the longer M6, and not these little fuckers, but it is what it is, right? So now it's time to start her up and see how she sounds. Okay, there's some improvement to sound, but I think most of what we're hearing here is the exhaust. I will probably need to do a full 3-inch exhaust and downpipe to get the most of the intake as well. Well, that's a nice looking RS3, isn't it? Anyways.